the weekend.
Warriors, Warriors, come on to play.
Yeah, here we go.
Good Saturday morning, everybody. We are broadcasting live from the Weekend Warriors studios in beautiful Peoria, Arizona. I'm Rob Fermano. Alongside my partners in crime, we've got the legendary Philip Amorine. And we got Luke. How can I be wrong with a name like Wright? I got to think of something else. And this
It's a little
is
wordy.
the Weekend Warriors.
Hey, if you enjoy our words, you can get your words onto the show by joining us wherever you are watching this, wherever, whether that be YouTube, X, Instagram, or even Facebook.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yes, if you too want to read AI slop that your grandmother posts right next to recipes for meatloaf you will never cook,
Never.
you can find us there too, and you can comment under ours. How are you doing, Jimmy? Doing great, Mom. Doing great.
All right.
There's
I didn't know where to go with that.
I was doing great until that
Yeah.
very final,
It threw me.
that final line.
Yeah, there's a lot going on this week in sports. Do we have something to talk about? We cut things this week.
We cut a lot.
We
We did.
stripped.
We cut it like a segment.
Yeah, we were like, guys, we had to negotiate. There were trade agreements
There
made.
were.
You know, wartime bureaucracy and everything else was had here at this very table that we present this show each and every week.
And the strip clubs won.
And when I am nothing if not a man who advocates for women
Absolutely. And wings.
and wings.
Wings.
I'm a double W guy.
Okay, so with all that, we got a lot to talk about. We got the tournament, college basketball tournament. We're going to talk about all the little tourneys going on.
The
we got
little turn.
the cute little tourneys. We're going to talk a little bit of NBA. There's a couple of interesting topics there. Dive into the WBC. Of course, we've got the right angle segment, give you that value pick. And then we'll finish it up with the NFL because there's a lot going on in the NFL.
So let's start where everybody wants to start this April. Taxes.
Taxes.
Oh, yeah.
So I was listening. I listened to the John Schneider show, who's the GM of the Seahawks. I watch and listen to that every week. And they were talking about this new tax that Washington just passed. It's called the Washington State Millionaires Tax, whatever it is. And they were talking about the impact that was going to have on their ability to recruit players. So I looked it up because I didn't know what it was. I hadn't heard about it. And apparently, if your income is over $1 million, they now tax you 10% of that. And it applies to athletes that also come into town to play. They have the jock tax where they're now going to apply a tax just like they did in the Super Bowl. They're going to be doing that to other players as well. So, which you know how I feel about this. We've talked about this in nauseum. I think this is ridiculous. But here's my debate question. So, do you guys think this hurts the Seattle pro team? So you got football, baseball, you've got hockey. Does it hurt these teams? Or is it just evening the playing field because there's already 20-something other states doing this? What do you guys think? I mean, I personally think it hurts them. I don't know that it really evens the field because I don't think the field needs to be even because why do we even need to do this anyway? I think it's a ridiculous thing that we're doing. And I really think this hurts their ability to recruit now. I think that extra 10%, they're either going to have to give them a little more money or it's going to deter people. What do you guys think? Because remember, Washington didn't have a tax, no state tax before this.
I believe that when it comes to top tier talent, it will do nothing. Or it'll do virtually nothing. If you are at the very top tier and you know you're going to still make a ton of money and you have the ability to say, I care more about winning a title because I know I'm still going to make a ton of money no matter what. I don't think it's going to really hurt you, especially because the Mariners, I believe, have been pretty good the last couple of years. And I believe they're still poised to continue to have some success in the future. The Seahawks obviously just came off a very successful season. I'm not going to pretend.
How successful was it?
It was moderately successful.
Moderately?
It was all right.
I was curious from a Denver Bronco fan perspective.
It
but okay.
was fine.
Oh, okay.
It was about as much success as Denver would have had with Bo Nix.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
A
okay.
healthy bonus.
Yeah.
You guys are both. Okay.
But I will say where this will hurt them a lot is once you start getting to those people who are at the 1 million mark. I think that once you start getting into those, like that tier of player who for them, they might only be making 1 or 2 million a year. And now they are going to lose an extra 10% of that. I think that is where it could hurt them.
The league minimum guys.
Exactly. And I'm not entirely sure where that falls relative to the other states, and if it's also 10% for other states as
I'm
well.
not sure.
I don't know if that's like the standard number that's set.
I think California is like 15.
Yeah. So I think that's where you're going to see the impact is at the top of the depth chart. I think you'll be relatively fine. There might be 1 or 2 people that you might lose out on, but it's really going to hurt you when it comes to getting depth on your roster, because those people
Good point.
who they're just there to try to make as much as they can before, because they know their career is only going to be 4 or 5 years. Those are the people who are like, I can't afford to lose 10% of my earnings every year. When I'm already paying my agent another 10%, I'm already paying all of these other things. Tesla Travels and Stops brings up a good point about NIL athletes.
I didn't even think about that.
College athletes who are now making that $1 million+ mark.
That's
It's
really
going to hurt. It might end up hurting college teams more than it ends up hurting others. But also, I think that you're going to find plenty of other ways around this. Especially for maybe NIL. Hey, why don't we make my deal $950,000 instead of $1 million? And
you know who this
save me
doesn't hurt?
10%.
There's a group this doesn't hurt.
Who does this not hurt?
Any WNBA player.
Oh my God.
You know that's good. Come on.
I think it does hurt some of them is the thing,
None
but
of them.
but no, I think that's where it is. I think it's not going to hurt a ton of the top tier talent,
Right.
but it will, I think, possibly really hurt you when you're starting to look for those veteran minimum guys, especially if they ever get the Supersonics back
Yeah.
Well, there
in
you
the
go.
NBA.
Which will happen.
Just for reference point, minimum salary for a first-year player in the NFL is $840,000. So won't affect. Also, for a first-year player, they're drafted. They're more than likely, unless it's an undrafted Philip Lindsay or something for the Denver Broncos. But for veterans, the minimum salary increases with years of service, with 1.2 million for players with 7 or more years. So to your point, that would be something like Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray would be a player who would get maliciously taxed 10% on his veterans minimum.
On his
deal.
1.3
Now,
million?
see, here's where I'm interested in. Even though if he had signed with Seattle, would he have also technically been taxed on the other 36 million?
I don't think he could have. Well, that's a really good
Because
point.
I
He's being
believe
paid out of Arizona, though, so I think it has to be
And it's
applied
for
to where the money's coming from.
I think it's based off where he lives, though.
But
If there's any tax experts in the chat,
the Seattle
let us
would only
know.
be paying him 1.35. That's it.
I
for
just
his
filed
service.
yesterday, so I feel comfortable to answer this.
okay.
If there's offset offset vocabulary within the contract, which is where it currently is, Arizona is obligated to pay whatever the bonus is that they are obligated to pay. So that is for services accrued in Arizona, as opposed to Minnesota. He would be paying Minnesota taxes for services accrued in Minnesota on a per game basis, right? So like if you work, so let's say that you work for the NBA and you're even like going down to the levels of a broadcaster. Tax discussion. This is fantastic.
Yeah, great way to start the show.
Yes, absolutely. But accountants love people. That
I'm
work
sorry.
in the league.
Legally, we are not tax experts. Do not take anything we say as
Yeah.
tax advice.
H&R block us. Like that's how you should be. But from my very, very limited understanding, having just filed yesterday, if you
for over $1 million
for over
in 2 states.
let me tell you. However, if you go to anybody who works in the NBA, they have to file 30 separate accounts because they performed a service in 30 separate teams' locations. So that's kind of how that all breaks down. Regardless, in short, I don't think that's going to matter much, man. I mean, like because it's 9.9 is what it is, right? It's not even 10%. It's like just right under 9.9 is what
Yeah,
I
I
saw.
think
Did you really just argue over a 0.1%?
No. What I'm saying is,
Have you met Phil?
it gives every place comes with its advantage and disadvantage. I think all it does is it takes away an advantage that they had previously. Like you look at the Cowboys, who I know you, Ralph, you very much enjoy the Cowboys so much that you desire to go so far as to not just find a horse, but also
I'm gonna ride that cowboy.
yes.
And see, I got it this time.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
It took
There's a lot of
ramp.
build up.
There was a lot of vamp. But anyways, you take a look at the Cowboys. They have no state tax, and so that's very alluring. The downside, you got to deal with Jerry Jones. Like that's that, and also at times be made to feel as if you are a monkey in a zoo because you'll be working out and there's glass across the way and then tours coming through watching you work out.
Tours.
Yeah. So every place comes with its advantages and disadvantages, guys. So yeah, whenever you're talking 7.2% over here in tax code versus 9.9 over there versus if you're over in San Francisco, 15%, whatever it can be possibly. At some point, like, does Brock Purdy care that he's paying 15% in taxes over here versus 0% in Dallas? No, he's fine that he got a chance to start over in San Francisco and now is making hundreds of millions as opposed to the minimum. It's all about opportunity. Is it something that along the margins will perhaps matter? Perhaps, but such is life.
One final bow on this from me. Let's also not sit here and pretend like they're not hiring incredibly proficient tax experts who will help mitigate that as much as possible.
Do you think that they have the team? So the team has a designated like barber for most of these times. They have like designated towelboys, designated
tax.
I'm sure they have a designated tax guy.
I'm sure that there is a list of
tax guy gets a ring
of just financial professionals. Like I know the NFL, I believe, has a list of like certified. All agents
I'm
have
sure
to be
that
certified.
They have a sponsored sort like brought to you by Intuit TurboTax.
No, I am sure that they have actual financial managers that they can recommend players. It's been too much of an issue for them not to.
Oh yeah. Well, I know specifically for the NBA, they have during their like rookie, whatever their version of the.
I believe all leagues do that now.
Yeah, they have like a financial advisement. So, but yeah, it's an interesting one and one that I think if I had to boil it down, just takes away an advantage, does not disservice them. Would be my take on it.
Okay. I mean, I think that it plays. I mean, I've heard players say that they won't go play in LA for that reason, for other reasons that cost of living and things like that is so expensive. Their taxes are so big.
The player that's making their decision financially based as opposed to.
But I'm not even talking the high end. I'm talking of the middle of the road guys who are just like, I need to keep my money. I'm not going to just give it away to give it away. So
and that's exactly the point I was trying to make is like those middle to lower end players are going to be the ones that are most affected by it.
I mean, I'm already paying a state tax. Why do I have to pay on top of that? Because I make a little bit more money? That's
but again,
you're getting penalized for that.
There's no state tax. This is just all but
no, it's in general though, like in California and stuff. But yeah, you're right. In Washington, there is no state tax. Okay, I thought it was a good topic. I was hearing them talking about it. They were actually a little concerned about it. He felt what's his name? He felt that Schneider felt like it was going to have an impact, no doubt, in his mind.
And that's something he's saying because it's politics at the end of the day. And I'm sure there will be some impact.
Yeah,
it's glorified college recruitment. Like it is. It's a point of whenever you're trying to be the guy to court somebody as a free agent and say, hey, do you really want to go play for the Bengals because you're going to get taxed up the wazoo, or do you want to come play for us because we're not even going to tax you? Yeah. Obviously. There's many reasons why you wouldn't want to play for the Bengals. But
I didn't even think about the NIL angle. That's interesting.
Yeah, NIL, that's fascinating.
Yeah, that's a good one. So Bitter Dolphin fans on the text line, or he's on the Facebook, and he says, you have to be kidding me with that Dortmund logo in the background. Yes, I do. I have a Dortmund logo in the background. And we have a new segment we will get to after we do college basketball. Rich, you're going to like it. And I have my Manchester City. I am bought in, guys, just so you know. We're not going to talk more about that, but I'm bought in.
You know what's so funny? It'd be... If I was an NIL player and I was like the max offer I was going to get was for a year for $1 million, I'd say, fantastic. Can I make 999,000?
That's what I just said.
You're going to see that.
Yeah.
That's going to happen.
100%.
That's incredible.
And Tesla Travelers and Stops says, how about Italy? We're going to talk about WBC and we're going to talk about Italy. There's no doubt about that. So we'll get into that. So let's pivot now. We got to talk about some college basketball.
Did you guys catch the game last night with Iowa and U of A?
Iowa State
did not.
Iowa State?
Yeah, it was Iowa State and U of A.
Oh, yes. Iowa State. Crazy.
Iowa's in a completely different conference.
Fantastic. Which conference were you in?
What conference is Iowa in?
No. What conference were you in?
No, he said Iowa is in.
Oh,
easy.
Iowa. Sorry, I thought you said I was in a different conference and you were watching a different conference champion.
No. I had some other plans and I was not able to watch all of the games. However, I did get to see the highlight, and I recommend everybody go watch the U of A. I hate giving them credit, but the game-winning shot was fantastic. It was reminiscent of the shot Kawhi Leonard hit. It wasn't quite as dramatic with the bouncing on the rim, but it was great defense, fade away towards the baseline.
And that was a great game too. There was a Iowa
fantastic game.
Iowa State, had a insurmountable lead that eventually was what? What does one become if it's insurmountable and then it's
surmountable?
It becomes surmounted.
Yeah,
the lead became surmounted.
But I do think at the end of the day, it was an 82-80 win.
Mount that lead. Oh shit.
Relax over there, sir. And I think that it showed that both teams are going to be a huge threat in March Madness this year. Iowa State, it would have been nice if they got the win, but that was a close game. They had their opportunities. Absolutely. And so today is the start of the finale of the conference tournaments. We have a couple finals. The ACC, the Big East, and the Big 12 are all going to be playing their finals today. And honestly, if you are a fan of college basketball, today is going to be a great game, great day for you. You're going to have basketball all day. You have 3 of the finals with Houston, Arizona, which is going to be a great game, which also either of those teams could win. You're going to have UConn, St. John's for the Big East. I think that's going to be a great game. And you're going to have Virginia and Duke. You're going to get to see the Boozer twins ball out against Virginia. All 6 of those teams are going to hopefully make deep runs in March. I do think all 6 of them have good potential. I think probably 4 out of the 6 can probably win the whole thing. Houston, Arizona, UConn, Duke. You're going to have some great final games. And then also we have the SEC in the Big Ten semifinals, including Wisconsin and Michigan and Vanderbilt and Florida are going on right now.
Oh.
We have an early lead, Florida over Vanderbilt, 14-12. And we have Wisconsin, Michigan with a total of 5 points scored in the first 5 minutes of the game. Looks like that one might not be a very high scoring affair there. But I'm just really interested to see how all of these games go. For those of you who don't know, what's going to happen is we're going to have all of these games today. Tomorrow, we will have the final games for the Big Ten and the SEC. And then we're going to immediately go into Selection Sunday where we'll get our full bracket. And I think, I'm going to call it right now, folks. I think this might be the best March Madness we have in the last 10 years.
Wow. Are you saying that because you feel there's no clear winner?
I kind of, yeah. I say it because there's no clear winner because there's so many possible winners.
Yeah. There's not that one dominant team.
But there are so many dominant teams. Like there's some times where it's like, yeah, everybody's like not that good. So whoever's not as good the least or most would win. However, this time it's like I truly feel like we have so many good powerhouses that are none of them maybe are generational, but they're all so strong that they can be good contenders. So I'm really looking forward to the rest of the finishing this conference tournaments and then heading into March Madness.
Arizona's chances, what do you think? Just off the top of your head, I know you hate them, but they're probably the only Arizona team that has a shot. So
I don't know about for you, but I would say it depends greatly on the bracket that they get. I feel like there will certainly, because of your point, there will almost assuredly be a pool of death. Well, not a pool because it's a bracket. But
bracket of death.
A bracket of death. That if you're the 1 seed for this particular bracket, in order to get out, you're going to have to face St. Mary's. You're going to have to face Iowa. You're going to you're just going to get a bunch of unfortunate lower seeds that are going to be just pushing you to the limit. So for me, in order for me to give a true indicator, like Arizona can be had. We just saw this. Last night. Like they were put in unfavorable positions. NIL, we saw this. The implementation of it has really been seen in how the talent has just dispersed, how it has definitely gone across the NCAA as a whole. I mean, yeah, it's something to where I don't know how you feel, Luke, but U of A, I would love to see them make it all the way to the final game, so that way I can lick the tears off their face when they lose. But in order to get there, I don't.
They're
It's
nice
appealing.
and salty.
Yeah.
They're nice and salty.
I would
haters.
I would love to see them get that far and lose. I cannot emphasize that enough. But it depends greatly on the bracket and the draws that they have, which I would say talk to me in 2 days. But that's where I am, Luke.
I'm right in the same boat. I think that if they play to their potential, they're winning it. I think that they have a very strong chance of winning
highest
it.
is that they're the best team. Like that.
That's their ceiling is winning.
Yes.
Their floor is losing in the second round to an upset and being laughed at again.
Not even the first round?
I don't think
Speaking of the first
it
round,
would be so good if they lost in the first round.
Speaking of the first round and tournaments that have concluded here, America East playoff, it is a final. UMBC Retrievers have won, and they are all but destined.
Let's go.
They are all but destined. Yeah, the only number 16 seed to upset a number 1 seed, the UMBC Retrievers, first time that they will be making the tournament since that historic upset. If they are selected, which they should,
we might already have the right angle for next week here, folks.
I'm telling you, to win it all, UMBC, them Retrievers,
Woof.
a strong and heroic woof.
No, to put a cap on college basketball.
Cap.
I'm very excited for it. I love not doing any work the first week it happens and just streaming all of the games from my desk.
Just let it happen.
But is this your excited face? Because
This is kind
I
of
feel you're not
This is
excited.
him
This is-
elated.
this is like my perpetual just face. I
have a perpetual face.
This is just always my face. It's RB.
I'm sorry.
It's RBF, resting bitch face.
All right.
I thought you were
That's me.
going to
Alright.
say somehow announce an Arby's sponsorship or something.
I wish. Arby's, hit me up. You have the meats. I know it. You know it.
You got the buns?
I've got the buns. You've got the meats.
We have Dominic on the Facebook, just says yuck.
We've said a lot. I don't
Yuck.
know exactly what he's yucking, but that's fair.
Yeah, I have to imagine the yuck comes from U of A and licking their salty tears.
True.
That's
That-
what I have to imagine.
I'm hoping that's what it is. It could be other things.
It's certainly not about Arby's.
I
no.
know it was already there.
Yeah,
God bless
good,
'em.
good.
With their potato cakes.
But I'm looking forward to it. And then once Selection Sunday happens next week, you'll see my excited face.
I can't wait.
Yeah, next week
Which will look exactly the same as it does now.
Yes.
next week we will certainly have
Awesome.
Selection Sunday already set. And then when do they go? When do they
When is Selection Sunday?
No.
It's on
not-
Sunday.
That was fantastic. When do they all of a sudden when does the tournament actually start?
Oh, I believe it's going to start, I think, on Wednesday.
Probably with the
A week
play-ins.
from Wednesday. No?
N-
Just Wednesday?
I think it's going to be like,
We might have to do like a little blurb, just something out there to show who we want. Because after the first weekend, it kind of it would be like, oh well, now that I know that Duke made it past their first matchup,
Like you want to do some picks? Is that what you're saying?
yeah, maybe just after we see like the bracket. Because again,
maybe do a bracket.
yeah,
We could post our picks.
yeah, yeah. I don't know.
It starts on the 17th.
Live content planning.
So in 3 days.
It's 3 days.
So it'll be
Yeah, no,
Tuesday.
they start quick.
Tuesday.
They
Okay.
start Tuesday. That's the first 4, depending upon what you consider. But starting on the 17th, there will be March Madness every day until the 22nd, which is the end of the second round.
And Phil was right. The tears were about the yuck was about the tears.
Good.
Dominic
good,
clarified that, so
Good.
which is very important.
I mean, astronomically so.
So all right, we're probably going to be talking a lot of college basketball next weekend.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Probably next 2 weeks.
College basketball, we're going to have a lot of baseball because the season's getting ready to start. There's a lot going on.
We are.
We're going to have the draft.
Don't forget, April 23rd, half an hour before the draft, we have our draft show.
That's professional.
So that was just perfect, right?
what
And we've
I'm here
already
for.
locked in. We've got Scott the King will be joining us. We've got Harris Hicks, the college sports guy, and the Daily Blender joining us. And we've got a couple other guys we're talking to. So that will be a fun show. It always is every year. We'll have food. We'll have drink.
You won't, but we will.
We'll have insight.
We might have Arby's.
Let's go.
Mozzarella sticks.
There's my excited
There's it,
face.
yeah.
Let's get the spot to sponsor it and they can send us food.
Oh, God, I do love the spot.
I'd
Yeah.
be down for that.
Yeah. Oh, God.
One phone call
When they
away.
made us that breakfast burrito, I did not know that they made it just for us. And so I went there at least 3 times, and
They don't have it. Yeah.
they don't have it. And it's
That was a Super Bowl show only burrito.
it's delicious.
Yeah, it was. All right. So put a pin in college basketball. Let's talk about a little NBA. A couple interesting things happened. That 83-point game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know much about this. I don't know much about Bam, but I don't think he's a guy that scores 83 points. So you can fill me in.
Yeah, no, he's certainly not. Remember, this is the guy who got in the same draft class as Donovan Mitchell, as a couple like other elite scorers. 83 points. So it all comes off the back of 43 field goal attempts, 36 made free throws. He becomes the second highest scoring player to ever have a game since Wilt Chamberlain, surpassing Kobe Bryant, now taking second spot as opposed to Kobe having 81.
Jerk.
Jerk. Yes, of course.
Can't
And
do that.
actually, that is part of where I want to go. Also, fun fact here, which I find to be astronomical. There's so many to choose from this game, but he got, of course, 36 made free throws.
Yeah.
Not one Wizards player got fouled out. Isn't that astounding?
That's impressive.
That's impossible.
It's mathematically impressive, because that's about the only aspect that the Wizards were impressive in this game. Keep in mind that Bam his Adebayo's career high was 41 points prior to this.
Nice.
The total two highest scoring games, 41 and 38, was less than the 83 that he scored against the Wizards. There have been 11 games this season in which a team failed to score at least 83 points their own. So there are teams that he outscored all by himself. Look, people have talked about this and gone back and forth. I don't know how you two feel about this, but they're saying that there is some lack of ethical basketball play here, because the last 3 minutes of the game, last 5-ish, but 3 minutes for sure of the game, got a little wonky. And it's weird because by the end of it, even the Washington head coach had to come out and say, well, it was fun while it lasted, but then the last 3 minutes weren't even a real basketball game. The fourth quarter, I think he even relegated it to. But here's the thing. Just because you're trying to stop it and he accomplishes it doesn't mean that it's not real basketball. If it were so easy, other people would do it. But the Washington Wizards, to me, are the joke here. The Washington Wizards, for the better part of the entirety of the season, have come out with their sole goal. The intent of them tipping off was to lose. So if you're going to go out and you're going to cast aspersions on Bam Adebayo, and also none of the fellow NBA players, to my knowledge, to where I've seen, have come out and said anything negative about Bam. If anything, there's unilateral love, there's unilateral praise from players, from the player perspective, to say that Bam Adebayo, sure. Is he going to be doing this every night? No, but they love that it's Bam, because out of everybody who could possibly be representative of scoring that much, he is a darn good representative of it. It was a great moment. It was for a team that also desired to win. It's for a good franchise, and for a guy who just is certainly emblematic of a lot of good things that the NBA should put forward. The fact that he played the entire second half is great. It's a guy who's known for his defense. I think it's a wonderful spot for the NBA. I think he's a wonderful pole bearer for somebody who is just under Wilt Chamberlain, which we all aspire to be for many reasons. But Luke, did you have any problem with how he achieved this accomplishment?
Absolutely not.
Good.
It is insane. You're a NBA basketball player. You don't want him to score that much? Stop him. Stop him. That's literally your job. That is 50% of your job, is to stop him from doing that. And guess what? There is no quote unquote ethical way to score over 80 points. I am willing to bet a lot of money that if you went back and looked at Kobe's 81 point game, there were plenty of unethical things happening there as well.
I'm pretty sure if facts serve, and I believe they do, with 3 minutes to go, the Lakers were up 11 points in that game.
Yeah, no, it's just, there's no ethical way to do it. You do it however you can. It's impressive. There shouldn't be anything. There's no reason to take anything away from him. Unethical basketball is basketball. Whether you want to add ethics to it or not is just dumb. And I'm gonna stand on the soapbox a little bit here, and I'm gonna call out Gordon Hayward. I was listening to
he really was angry about this.
I texted Philip. Did I put that in the group chat for us?
You put it
Okay.
in the group chat.
I was so livid. I was driving into work, listening to him do an interview for Unsportsmanlike on ESPN. And he was sitting there and he's like, oh, this is a bad look for the NBA. He was trying as hard as he could to say that he didn't think this was he was trying to downplay Bam's performance while also not outright stating it so that nobody would get mad at him because it's a terrible opinion. But he said that it is a bad look for the NBA because this was a fluke and that the only person who should have scored more than Kobe was a scorer. And because Bam is not a scorer, it is a bad look because now it looks too much like a fluke, which is one of the dumbest statements I have ever heard in my entire life. I'm sorry, Gordon Hayward, that you couldn't stay healthy for your entire NBA career and it got cut short due to injuries, and so you can never get to this height. But let's be for real here. Like, this is how it goes. It does not make anyone look bad because a defensive first player scored 80 plus points. If anything, this should serve as a guiding point. This should serve as inspiration. One, embarrass bad teams who are tanking. And two, you don't have to be a scorer to have a great night. You don't have to be Kobe Bryant to be able to put up historical performances. This is something that we should be teaching everybody.
So what you're saying is everybody can get lucky once?
At least once. Phil's proof of it.
I met Sports Girlie. That was incredible.
Yeah.
So for her, would that be she got unlucky?
The jury's still out.
The jury's out.
I won't go
Okay.
that far,
Okay. I'm kind of leaning that way.
but I'll get off my soapbox.
No, Gordon Hayward loves himself some Olive Garden, and let me tell you, it showed. It was an absolute buffoon statement. The buffoonery was certainly rampant. And outside of Gordon Hayward, there was a bunch of people who were just like, I love Bam Adebayo. You know, he's a great guy. He puts in the work, but I just want more. It was a joke on how it happened. The Washington Wizards are the joke here. If you're upset at anybody, be upset about the Washington Wizards and the way that they approach their franchise. Hey, the way that the NBA schedule works, everybody gets to play them at least twice. Do it yourself then. Do it yourself. Oh, you're not, because you're resting your players, or you're resting your players to either get better seating in or to better favor your chances in the playoffs, or to better favor your chances in the lottery. Bam Adebayo is playing the entire second quarter. Go ahead. Try and goose your stats. Try and make that many free throws. I don't have to dim somebody else's candle in order to make somebody else's shine brighter, but making that amount of free throws is skill. That was something. He did it while also scoring on 3-pointers. He also did it while dominating the first quarter. The first quarter was impressive. He got to 70 points, quote unquote, legitimately. And then it was just once we got to those last 3 minutes and how the Washington Wizards finally decided to try and attempt to stop this by triple teaming him. Give me a break.
You know what I want to see happen? I want bounties on records.
This feels like
Bounties.
On records.
unsaint-like.
No,
I think that would be a great idea. Bam should be given a bonus for doing this.
I'm misunderstanding.
I misunderstood
I
too.
misunderstood
No,
how you're.
That's what I'm saying. I want a
Take
bounty.
him out.
I want a bounty on records. I want you to go and look at all of the records in NBA history and say, hey, you just had a historical performance. Here's a little bonus.
I was gonna say, Ralph. I think that phrase is called bonus.
It's bonus. It's not bounty.
No, yes,
Bounties when you
but
hunt.
a bonus is in a contract, and it's never for hitting a
So
record.
you're saying that instead of with a team, this bounty / bonus would be paid out by the NBA to say, hey, you break our all-time one single game blocks record. Here's $5,000.
No. Add some zeros to that.
And tax at 10%.
And tax at
90%.
No, I truly, and I call it bounty because you're hunting the record.
Don't you think we live in an NBA now where this is more likely to happen? Where the defensive, the NBA used to be a very defensive league back in the day when you guys weren't born yet. And it feels like
defense.
It feels like that's gone. And it feels like it'd be easier for players to make nights like this happen.
It has. I mean, we've seen it with more regularity. I mean, Dame had 71 or 79 recently. I know Devin Booker had some. I know Luka had a 60 plus.
51,
Yeah. There's been a lot of these games that have come somewhat. Nikola Jokic has certainly on all the points that he's had his hands on, whether it be through assists or 3-pointers or regular field goals. Certainly, it's going to happen closer and closer. And I think that's part of the reason why it was so impressive and why people hold. I feel like people became so sensitive to this, and I do use that word and apply it here because it was a Kobe stat that people are, for whatever reason, have such.
Absolutely, I feel that way.
Yeah, they have such an affinity and such an idolization of Kobe specifically that's where they felt like it is depriving Kobe of a piece that he otherwise. That's why Wilt himself is seemingly the pallbearer for, like, if you accomplish something like SGA did recently, breaking a Wilt record, then that is something to be noted because Wilt has all the records that are statistical outside of championships. Wilt has them. So
Wilt's is impressive because he lived in the non-2-point era, in the non-3-point era, right?
Yeah.
So that's why his is really impressive. But at the same time, it loses some of that impressiveness because he was a physical specimen to no other in the league at that time. He was a monster.
You know my favorite Will Chamberlain stat that will never be beaten? Never.
Please don't say it.
Oh, well, no.
Okay.
No, we'll get to that next. But no, my favorite Will Chamberlain stat that will never be broken. Averaged for an entire season, 48 and a half minutes. There's only 48 minutes in an NBA game. Crazy.
A lot of overtime.
That is great.
Yeah, a lot of overtime. Speaking of working overtime, let's go down to Atlanta, where this is I had a strong desire to talk about this. So
yeah, you did. Don't know why.
I needed to talk about this. So the Atlanta Hawks had planned, as many sports organizations do. You see these theme nights, whether it be Pride Night, whether it be Kershaw bobblehead night, whether it be Hispanic Heritage Night, whether it be I don't know, whatever, fireworks night, Pitbull night, whatever it is. Atlanta Hawks don't have much to celebrate. So they came up with a promotion that was in conjunction with the NBA owner's wife for the Atlanta Hawks, who has a documentary coming out that is about the Magic City, which building an establishment, I should say. And it is about Magic City. Now, for those of you who do not know about Magic City, which I'll be honest, I didn't know heading into this promotion.
Same.
Do now. It is a staple in Atlanta, and it is a very much ballyhooed strip club. I love it. Ballyhooed strip club in Atlanta that is something of a heritage program. Like
heritage.
There are people that said, where would more disappointment, like, if you're talking about the importance of how an establishment is to the community of which it serves, which one is more important, the Magic City or the Atlanta Hawks? People said, burn the Hawks down. burn down Jeff Teague's historical
Who are these
placement.
people?
The community.
Oh, okay.
And so anyways, after comments by Luke Cornett, a center now for the San Antonio Spurs, he said that it was disappointing, that it was something that didn't align with his values, and he was hoping for a game that he's not even going to play in. He's just sideswiping on the side. Luke Cornett's like, yeah, I'm disappointed in all this and how it represents. Comes out and says that it spurred the conversation about whether or not this promotion should happen. And after much discussion, the Atlanta Hawks were forced to cancel the night. They certainly were not going to. They were committed. They were committed. And so the NBA stepped in and said, we are canceling this night for you on your behalf. Not the game. No, not the game, but they were. Now, keep in mind a couple key things, because when one says they are promoting a strip club, there's a few contextual clues needed here. Number one, no dancers themselves who are of the establishment were going to be dancing for entertainment. I think that was one thought that might occur. No, that's not going to be happening. The tie-in was going to be going towards, I believe, the dance girls that the Atlanta Hawks normally have were going to be wearing some form of merch that were fully covering, but having Magic City on it.
They don't wear fully covering now.
Yes. Great point to add here.
Great point here. Yes. And then the last one, which many people will forever idolize Lou Williams for. They were going to be selling special made lemon pepper wings at the
Why
stadium.
lemon pepper?
Oh, because apparently
That's
Magic City,
staple.
Magic City, they are known for their lemon pepper wings. Like you go there for both kinds of wings, my guy. You go there. So, before I give my full thoughts, in which case I think I've leaked out some of mine. Luke, would you have canceled this? Did you find any problem? Do you find any problem with an NBA team having a promotion that, in essence, promotes a strip club?
I had no problem with this. And you know what?
God bless you.
Literally none.
God bless him.
And you know what? Quite frankly, it's none of my damn business. I don't live in Atlanta. I don't know anything about Atlanta culture. I don't know anything about Atlanta history. I don't know anything about anything when it comes to Atlanta. I know they got a big old airport.
Yeah, they do.
And I know that they have a cool aquarium. And I think Coke is there.
Coke is there.
Coke is there.
And that's about it. That's the extent
there's
of my
lots of Coke
knowledge.
there.
Tons of Coke on the
Lots of
factory
different
in the
types. But that's the extent of my knowledge of Atlanta. I have no right, and Luke Cornett had no right.
Luke Cornett really
Giving all Luke's a bad name here. He had no right to sit there and pretend like his opinion mattered on this subject. He's not from Atlanta. He wasn't going to play in the game. There was nothing relating him to that. Sometimes you don't need to share your thoughts. Sometimes your thoughts can stay inside. They can be inside thoughts. Because if it doesn't matter to you, if it doesn't impact you, if you don't actually know what you're talking about, you can just shut up. If this is a cult, if this is a institution in Atlanta, and if they're not going to bring the dancers, and they're not going to,
even if they did, as long as the dancers were wearing,
as long as nobody can be arrested for indecent exposure.
Yes.
You're literally, all they were going to do was some cool merch, which literally just said Magic City in cool colors, peach colors, which, while does have certain references, Georgia is literally the peach state. But they were going to have some cool merch. They were going to have some cool food. And they were apparently going to film a podcast with like T.I. and the owner of the club. And then, to my understanding, that was basically it. That was the extent of this partnership. They weren't going to sit there and be like, "Oh, hey, 6-year-old, you want to come hit the club after this?" No, like I promise you, the demographic that you think that you are trying to protect.
Luke Cornett quoted as saying, "The NBA should desire to protect and esteem women."
Thank you. the demographic that you are trying to protect.
That's rich.
Does either A, is too young to even understand what's happening here, and probably would have never even picked up on it except for how big of a deal you made it. And so now they're going to go home, they're going to Google it, and they're going to discover things about themselves. So congrats, you backfired there. And like, that's the problem here. Like, we are calling a bigger it's like all those Disney movies, all those like hidden, those like,
How do you go to Disney?
let me finish the thought.
I missed that Disney movie.
Like all the Disney movies that have all those hidden adult jokes, the ones that they go right over the kids' heads, but the adults know.
I remember that one. Woody.
They hear some verbiage that makes them laugh, but the kids don't know what they're talking about. Yes. This was going to be literally the same thing. Yeah. Those kids were going to show up. They were going to get some cool wings. They were going to see peach colored merch, which again, Georgia's the peach state, so they are probably used to that, and they would have never really known what Magic City was. And then some dude had to open his mouth, and it became a huge big deal, and now they're going to go home and Google it, and then they're going to go and ask their parents, "Mommy, what's a strip club?" Or
that's where Daddy goes.
They're going to hit images, and they're going to see things that they shouldn't be seeing, and all of that's going to happen because Luke Cornett and other people got involved in Atlanta's business when they shouldn't have.
And notice the loudest people that first stood on all 10 toes to come to that conclusion. Bunch of men. Not a lot of women. Not a lot of women saying we have a problem with Magic City night.
I didn't see any woman in media, in sports media at least.
Ralph, you strike me as a man who brings the family to the strip club.
We have season seats.
Yeah. James Harden had his wow, Luke almost spit it out. Had his jersey retired at, I believe, Magic City. Many strip clubs. Look. Me and the fiance, we've been to a strip club together.
Can't imagine.
Yeah, it's a great place,
Not
great environment.
surprised by that in the slightest
at all.
Yeah, no, we've gone, we've enjoyed, and you know what? We aren't the only people that are ever there as a couple, because a lot of women go, from my understanding, because they feel safest there, because it is a place where other men are not on you because they're not the naked ones. That they are the ones who can go in there and enjoy great food, because a lot of these strip clubs do have legitimately great food. You ever DoorDash or Uber?
It's a great steak right there.
Oh, no, I'm serious. Go to Vegas. Some of the best food you'll find is not it's at the strip, but not just the strip.
Reaching. Go ahead.
Anyways, so Ralph, my question to you is:
There's a question.
There's a question here. Are you a part of the think of the children crowd?
We've had tax talk and strip club talk in the same episode in the same 45 minutes.
We are jam-packed, baby.
Where else can you get that range?
Yeah.
Ralph, if you showed up and it was Hooters night, would you be upset? Obviously, a layer down, but
so no. But this is what's hypocritical. This is so hypocritical. For the NBA or whoever this other guy is that wants to shut this down, and the NBA canceled it, right?
They canceled it. Yes, it's not happening.
Done.
Okay. Since when does the NBA give a crud about things like this? They have girls half naked dancing on the court all game, right? They play music that exploits women all game. Don't tell me they don't, because half the music that you play in these arenas, not just the little snippets, but the artists that they promote are all exploiting women in their songs. And we can go over some of the detailed lyrics if we wouldn't get violations by everybody and their mother for doing that.
I'm looking at you, Taylor Swift.
We basically have music that tells the youth to do things to women in a very bad way that these guys all listen to and promote. Yet we're going to bring a strip club night in and we're going to have a problem with that. That's such a hypocritical thing to do. NBA, get off your high horse. You're already promoting all the bad. You already have all that stuff going on in your arenas and in your league. Stop thinking like you're the knight in shining armor coming in and you're doing the right thing to save the kids. That is such BS. It is so wrong. It's just hypocritical. That's my opinion. Would I support the Magic, whatever it's called?
Magic City.
Yeah.
Put some
No,
respect.
whatever it's called.
I don't support strip clubs. I don't want nothing to do with that lifestyle. I don't go there with my wife. If I want a strip club, I'll have it at home. And it'll probably be called, I don't know, the Saggisons. I have no idea.
The
But
Romanos.
but I'm just saying, I don't promote that lifestyle or that stuff. But I mean, I think it's just so hypocritical that any organization, but especially the NBA of all organizations, to sit there and say, "Oh, we can't do that." Give me a break. That's just ridiculous.
Be some standard of ethics when you
They don't have
when
any.
you partner with gambling companies. Whenever
Exactly.
they're just
What ethics do you have, NBA?
truly, like, again, if we're not violating any laws, I mean, I'm sure whenever
Just
you have
Congress.
Snoop Dogg night, are you not promoting some version of ganja?
You're promoting all the garbage he talks about in his music.
There you go.
And if you listen to it, some of the older stuff, especially, it's pretty bad.
100%, the only reason why the NBA even stepped in and why they cared was because Luke Cornett brought it to their attention. And I'm just going to throw strays here. Burger King came in and said, so about this Magic City night that we otherwise would have never known about, never cared about.
Yeah.
It's all about money, dude.
And that's exactly, and that they even admitted that. They're like, hey, Luke Cornett voiced opinions. We heard from other players, stakeholders, fans.
But shame on them, because even Burger King, if that's who it really was, how about, I bet you some of the stuff that they do in their world, and
Carl's Jr.
some of the stuff they promote, and the music that they use, it all can be put in everything in this society can be put under a microscope, and you can find fault everywhere if you really want to.
And I hate every single time the justification of think of the kids. think about this before
No
you
one
have
does.
kids.
Why should you?
Yeah, think about it before you have kids. That's why we're not, some people aren't parents because they like, I don't want to have the discussion with kids or whatever. Or you know what? Tough discussions happen. They exist.
Be a parent.
Don't shelter your kid. Like whatever.
People
That's
don't know
not
how to be parents.
my responsibility. And also, Magic City is a staple of that community. T.I. was going to be performing at halftime for this. Like
is it a staple?
I'm telling you, it is. It's a think of like
Only in
Tootsies.
Atlanta, dude.
It is on the same echelon of like name recognition, and I kid you not, of like Tootsies, of like Chippendales, to where it's like it is a people will habitually go there. They live there in Magic City.
So it's like Spearmint Rhino in Dallas.
Yeah, Peppermint Rhino in Vegas. Yep, it is. Okay. It is a top tier establishment, and I support them.
All right,
I support women.
Also, though,
you're terrible.
The amount of resale value, the merchandise that people did get their hands on is going to go through the roof. So I don't know if you know this, Ralph. They were doing pre-orders for the merchandise. Once the NBA canceled the event, they took it off of the website. However, they said that if anyone who'd already ordered it, they would still honor that. Oh, nice. However, they weren't going to provide it. They weren't going to sell it at the game, and they weren't going to allow any more new orders. And so, to be honest, if I didn't know what Magic City was, I actually probably would have worn the merchandise I saw. It actually looks pretty good. Like if you don't know what Magic City is, then I could actually see people wearing it.
I would assume it's a magic shop.
There's a lot of things that Magic City
like
could lead
to. Locally, like when I was young, I specifically always drove by it, and I was like, "Mom, why can't
we go there? It looks like a cool castle."
Yeah. Because the dragon will bite you, honey.
Well, I didn't have that conversation. She was like, "Your dragon."
Eventually, my mom just told me to shut me up, and I was like, "Oh," but that's like that resale value is going to go through the roof now.
Big time now.
I just find it to put a fine bow on this, Ralph. I do find it heavily hypocritical that the NBA finally cares. I mean, they care less about sex toys being thrown on the court and hitting players on the thing than they would on that night just having dollar bills thrown on the court.
But they weren't planning on sex toy night. It's different.
They had a stronger reaction to this than that.
Yeah, they canceled the night, and I guarantee you, somebody I don't even know who the Hawks are playing, but whoever is on the team right now, who's on the Hawks even right now, because they just traded Trae Young and Clint Capella. I'm trying to think who's
nobody.
They
suck.
Who's on the Hawks? But anyways, I don't know. Yeah, whatever. It just they'll be slipping dollar bills into them while they're on the bench.
Let's go to our chat. We got Rich on chat, and Facebook says, Phil, I caught that Saint comment.
Thank you.
I didn't.
I know.
Sports Girlies on YouTube chat says, Luke, you're awesome. I love it.
I am pretty awesome.
And then we got Rich on Facebook says, what do you three think of Steve Kerr's comments that the schedule should be reduced by 10 games?
Agree with them.
Steve Kerr's been on this train for a while, and
he's been right.
And he's been 100% right, and I've been on the train with him. They will never do it, unfortunately. They will lose too much money in revenue from the 5 games, maybe the 5 home games they would lose from that. But they need to do something to just make the regular season better. And less games would make it better. And they need to figure something out, because the stuff they're doing is just putting Band-Aids that are already used on wounds.
It amazes me how many times people can just see the answer staring at them straight in the face, and yet still in time be penny pinching, being so concerned about nickel and dime. Hey, stop. We moved on from Magic City night promotion. All right. So they're nickel and dime. They're nickel and diming and just worried about this and the immediacy of it. Why do people love the NFL so much? Why do they love the NFL so much? Because the games matter. Why do the games matter? Because they don't have to be told that they matter. They actually matter. Seahawks go on a 3-game losing streak next year. I guarantee you Ralph Romano will slowly lose his mind. I guarantee you, because that's going to greatly
slowly.
That happens with Alzheimer's too, but yeah.
That will greatly affect not just their seeding, but potentially their playoff chances whatsoever.
They mean more because they're so few.
More. And so the fact, so I guess going to you, Ralph, on this, yes, if they were to lose 10 games, that's something that I feel like I've been on this case time and time again, because it means more. I don't need to see, honestly, I even think the brevity of the NFL helps too. The fact that whenever you go into the Super Bowl and you're like, you know what, I haven't seen these two teams play, and I don't know how this story ends, as opposed to I just know that they have a key weakness that the other team can beat because they beat them the last 2 times that they faced them, and they just destroyed them because they don't have a Nikola Jokic, as opposed to a team that does that they have not seen. I have not seen the deficiencies in the matchup. Going to you, Ralph, I know that the NBA is not necessarily your cup of tea all the time, but I know MLB you certainly do, and they both I think face the same problem. Would you be opposed to lowering the game amount, even though we can all agree that they never will? But would you be opposed to that idea of lowering the game amount for the good of the game, even in the MLB?
Oh, we're asking him about MLB?
MLB, because I really think it's just how you view sports.
I mean, NBA, I'd say yes because I just don't want to watch it.
But would you want to watch it if the games mattered more?
Yeah, I would.
Yes.
MLB, honestly, no, I like the long season. It's just because it's the culture of the game. It's the boys of summer. It's about the dog days in August and September. There's something nice about that. I don't know what it is. I don't mind the games meaning less in MLB. It just doesn't bother me. I'm cool with 162 games. But in the NBA, I think it makes sense to. Yeah, I would lose more than 10 personally.
Oh, yeah.
I would lose probably 25.
Like I said, I would take out so many games that you don't get to face every team every year.
Will never happen.
It will never.
Because it's money. Every game is money.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care. Do you want to add 2 more play-in teams for the spots so that way more than half the league, only 2 teams get eliminated each year? Fine, then do that. But the games need to matter and inherently do so. Not you trying to convince me that this Orlando Magic team versus the Milwaukee Bucks, they're jockeying for the 9th seed. Nobody cares.
It's why the NFL is trying to add games because it's money.
Yeah,
right? Think about it. They're trying to add more games. And it's why they'll eventually even add more teams in the playoffs because it's more playoff games. It's more money. It's always about that. Eventually they'll be just like every other sport and they have 90% of the teams make the playoffs because then every game's more important, even more than they are now. At the end of the year, you could have 5 wins and you're still going for it. It's just like all the bowl games in college football. You got the 5-win team in a bowl game because it's money. It's all about money. It doesn't matter about anything else.
Pigs get fed, hogs get slaughtered.
Yep. All right. Well, that was interesting.
Hey, far be it from me to be the lone voice of women on this show, but I stand behind you and I applaud and I clap as you do too.
Okay. Are we going to go into a break or do you guys?
Yeah, let's do that.
You want to go into a break?
I think so.
We got a lot more to talk about.
We certainly do. And also we've got a segment to debut. As well as NFL, nonstop NFL. Like, again, the NFL is going to be taking up so much time that we aren't going to be able to get to things. Like the World Baseball Classic, we will certainly hit.
When we come back, that's what we're going to hit. We're going to hit WBC. We're going to talk about Italia. Got to talk about Italia. We'll talk about the games last night, the games today.
Pizza.
Great. The WBC has been fantastic. So we'll have a lot to talk about there. And then there's so much going on in the NFL.
Bye-bye, Canada. Adios.
We'll talk about that too. So stick around. We're going to take about a 4-minute break. Let our people talk and pay the bill. They say bills.
The single bill.
The single one little bill we have in the corner. And then we'll get back to WBC, NFL, The Right Angle, our value pick, everyone's favorite segment. Ooh. We'll see you in about 4:30.
Hey, Ralph, got another solar question for you.
Okay, but did you check out the Harmon Solar podcast first?
The what?
The Harmon Solar podcast. We put new episodes up twice a month that teach you all the things you ever wanted to learn about solar. We discuss things like how solar works, the roofing, sales process, demand management, everything solar.
Show like this needs some real smart thinkers, huh?
Well, yeah.
So you got some really great guests then, huh?
Almost every show.
Is it on Spotify?
Yep.
iTunes?
Yep. Just search it everywhere. It's the Harmon Solar podcast. Go check it out at harmonsolar.com.
After you cook, are you staring at a pan full of grease? Pan dust turns hot, messy grease into dry, scoopable crumbs in seconds. Sprinkle, stir, let it set, wipe it out, done. Fewer towels, cleaner counters, and yes, happy drains. Want to see it work? Open YouTube and search Pan Dust Absorbs Grease, or go straight to our channel at Pan Dust Absorbs Grease. Watch a quick demo, hit subscribe, and share it with your bacon-obsessed friends. It works on cast iron, non-stick, baking sheets, even grill pans. It's plant-based, no harsh smell, and cleanup is weirdly satisfying. Make cleanup the easiest part of cooking. Pan dust absorbs grease.
Game day, date night, or a midweek bite. Make the Spot Neighborhood Grill your go-to. Sizzling burgers, crispy wings, street-style tacos, fresh salads, and shareables that disappear fast. Add an ice-cold draft or a classic cocktail, and you've got your new neighborhood favorite. Wall-to-wall TVs so you won't miss a play, a patio made for Arizona evenings, and that friendly local vibe you love. Find us at 2 Valley locations, Scottsdale at 18,251 North Pima Road, and Glendale on 5350 West Bell Road. Dine in, grab takeout, or order ahead. Find us at thespotgrill.com for the menu, hours, directions, and daily specials. Again, that's thespotgrill.com. The Spot Neighborhood Grill. Great food, great people.
Turn your backyard into the best seat in the house with Curbalite, the app-controlled landscape curb that wraps your trees in color. Pick any hue, run preset scenes, even schedule your lights right from your phone. And on party night, make the lights dance to the music. Choose the traditional round tree ring or the contemporary square. Both install in minutes and link together for bigger, brighter displays. Connect up to 12 sets to frame your whole space. Built for real weather, Curbalite is tested in extreme heat and cold, so your glow goes year-round. Level up your nights, game day, holidays, or just because. Get Curbalite now at Curbalite.com. That's Curbalite.com.
The Weekend Warriors, taking sports talk radio to a new dimension. Listen to Ralph, Neil, Phil, and guests break down the news.
Isn't that what everybody wants?
The games.
If you like the NFL, this is your shot.
The matchups.
This will be the last year I think we'll ever see one 3,000 strikeout player, much less two facing each other.
The Weekend Warriors.
We are known to chant as well.
You're listening to the Weekend Warrior Show. It's time for hour number 2.
It's the Weekend Warriors. Warriors, come to play.
Yeah, here we go.
All right, everybody. It's a little bit past 11 o'clock on this beautiful Saturday morning here. 100-plus degrees Saturday morning, it feels like in Phoenix. I'm Ralph Romano. Alongside my partners in crime, we've got the legendary Philip Amrine, and we've got Luke Wright. I'm not saying the other part anymore. We'll figure it out. And this is hour 2 of the Weekend Warriors.
And if you want to join our strip club discussion, if you've got breaking stripper news, you can comment, whether that be on YouTube, X, Instagram, or Facebook, wherever you're finding us, wherever you're watching us, you can certainly get the latest and greatest split news coming to you.
Oh my gosh.
Coming to you folded, tucked in, coming crumpled up. Doesn't matter.
With prepared taxes.
We'll read the comment as it comes to us. Wet and wadded up. We will read it.
Okay. Are you an international sports fan?
Me?
Are you following us with our international sports teams? Well, we've got a new person that's joined us.
Ooh.
That's going to give us an update on what's going on. So let's go ahead and go there.
From the Premier League to Serie A and the Bundesliga, it's time for the International Soccer Minute on the Weekend Warriors. I'm Reginald Bootsworth. Let's go around the international soccer pitch with the clubs our crew follows. Starting with Phil's teams, Parma already had a rough one this week, losing 4-1 to Torino after 2 own goals flipped the match early in the second half. Frankfurt face Union Berlin in the Bundesliga this weekend, and I see that ending in a 1-1 draw. Bournemouth take on Everton in the Premier League, and that looks like a tight match. I'm predicting another 1-1 draw there. For Luke's teams, Bologna face Fiorentina in Serie A, and I like Bologna to edge that 1-2-1. Liverpool take on Brighton in the Premier League, and with the title race heating up, I'm calling Liverpool 3-1. Hamburg face St. Pauli in Germany, and I like Hamburg 2-0 in that one. And for Ralph's teams, Napoli play Lecce and should control the match. I'll say Napoli 2-0. Manchester City face West Ham, and I see City winning 3-1. And Dortmund take on Werder Bremen, where I like Dortmund 2-1. And that's the Weekend Warriors International Soccer Minute. I'm Reginald Bootsworth. Now back to the guys.
All right. Thank you, Reginald. Reginald Bootsworth.
Bless you, Reginald.
Great name. Love Reginald Bootsworth. So that's our 1 minute update on what's going on. So I thought hey, and I'm going to say, I got one thing to say. Hey, Rich, suck it. That's all I'm going to say. You see my Dartmouth back there.
Rich said Frankfurt won.
Did they?
Reginald, you bootlicker.
Hey, Rich, if you like, Rich, I can autograph this and I can send it to you. You can hang it up on the wall. You tell me. Which I know. Wow. So guys don't know, Dartmouth and Dortmund, I'm sorry. Dortmund and Bayern Munich, which is his team. Those are big rivals. So I have his rival, so he hates that. So I'm just saying, Rich, suck it. All right. We are going to move to WBC. It is time to talk about Italia. I hold in my hand a cup of espresso because how many home runs did we see Italia hit just against the U.S.? 3, 4? Are you guys surprised about how good Italia's been doing? How they won their group. First of all, cheers, Italia.
Cheers. They were so surprisingly good that they surprised the manager for the American team because they so did not have a contingency plan on what happens should they lose to Italia that they just didn't know what to do with it. We'll talk about that later. But no, Italy's been great.
They've been fun.
They've been a lot of fun,
right?
I've even heard comments from people that have said, even when they were facing America, that they were they're USA, that they were saying, you know what, the fact that the USA team here is being so disrespectful towards this team, but pile it on Italy. Like everybody wants to be Italian, baby. Everybody wants.
We won't allow that.
Oh,
it's part of a very select group. Just saying,
very select.
I mean, that was the biggest win in Italian baseball history over the U.S. by far, 8-6. And then for me, it was fun to come back the next night and to take out Mexico the way they did, because obviously my wife is Mexican and my son is both. And I looked at my son, we're watching the game. He's half Mexican and half Italian. I go, "Are you torn?" And he's like, "Nope, go Italia." I was like, "Good boy. You know where the money comes from." So it was fun to watch in this household. So I've had a lot of fun with Italy. They got a tough game today in Puerto Rico.
I'm curious, Ralph, I just as a competitor and somebody who's been watching this, there was an opportunity. And because, again, of the aforementioned Team USA lost and didn't understand the standings, that there's a possibility that both Italy and Mexico made the playoffs and eliminated USA.
Yeah.
Would you have been fine had Italy maybe not co-strategized, but just pleasantly laid forth a plan to lay dead and eliminate by rules of that are totally within their right, and just straight up lose to Mexico and get a desired result by losing? Would you have been upset with them had they done that?
I would have been, because that's not the spirit of the game. I don't like that. You go out and play the game. Whatever happens, happens. And at the end of the day, I'm an Italian American. I'm not an Italian Mexican. So I'm pulling for Italy and for the USA. I mean, I live in the USA. I support all the USA teams. So I want to see USA move forward. So no, I would have not liked that. If anybody would have, in any scenario, even if it wasn't those teams, no. I mean, you have to play the game. Don't conspire with the other team to knock someone else out. That's just not, that takes away from the spirit of the game. My opinion.
You know me.
Philip hates the spirit of the game. Philip's
I want to
all
win.
About being
because
a snot.
Because it is a luxury afforded to you by winning. I think you then have the luxury to lose. I mean, it's the same concept as like the Chargers all but the Chargers last year, where we're already in the playoffs. What does it matter if we lose to a team that's actually trying to get into the playoffs and could do so by beating us in the last week?
I'll tell you how it matters is, so Italy is that rare thing. They're a bunch of young guys, right, that are just gelling right now and playing really good ball.
Yeah.
You're going to be asking them to get out of that mode of playing how they've been playing and hold back to lose a game. That can actually ruin you going forward. You got to keep doing what you're doing and what you're good at. So you want to keep the momentum going into this knockout stage, because right now you're playing way above your heads.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, They're clicking as a team. They're just they've got
they're
that
the
look.
shock. They're the shock of the WBC right now
by far. Now, if they knock out Puerto Rico today and they get to the semifinals, I mean, they'll have to play probably Japan in the semifinal.
And it's been.
I'll tell you what, they could beat they could beat Japan.
No,
dude, they beat the U.S. strongest team in the world.
Let's be realistic here.
I think they can beat Japan. Why? If you could beat the U.S., why can't you beat Japan?
Because you got. I'll say it this way, even though this isn't the best way to say it. They got lucky against the U.S.
How'd they get lucky?
First of all, they still almost lost the game.
It was close.
It was close after I think they jumped out to like an 8-0 lead, 6-0 lead, something like that. Basically, the U.S. had an incompetent manager who didn't know how to read the standings.
Still have one.
And from my understanding, the U.S. players were all out super late the night before celebrating what they thought was a clinching win. I'm sure quite a few of them probably had some bad headaches as a result, so maybe some poor choices the night before. And even spotting them 8 runs, they still came back to score 6, and they still could have, if they just played a little bit better, or if they hadn't been out celebrating the night before, I think there's a very good chance that they won. Now, again, I don't want to take away all credit from Italy. At the end of the day,
but go ahead.
I didn't take all the credit away.
He took away like 6 runs
like,
of credit.
70% of it.
But I mean, no, they went out, they played the game, they scored the runs, they did what they needed to do, and they got the win. But let's not sit here and pretend like because they got this one win that they're suddenly going to be like this super ultra competitive team going forward.
Let me explain why. If they today is the hardest game. And why I say that is the pitching, right? So Aldegari is pitching for Italy today. He's okay. He's not great. He's okay. If they can get past today, now you could probably come back with Mike Lorenzen, who's a stud.
Yeah, he's
right?
their guy.
And now they can go 80 pitches in the semifinal. So that means you got 4, almost 5 out of him last time. You could have him go a good part of this game, and then you got a couple guys you could bring back from the bullpen and be in really good shape to set up in a championship game for Aaron Nola. That's where this gets different because now you have 95 pitches. So these guys can be stretched out where they couldn't be stretched out early. So you had to get through those early rounds. They managed it. Cervetti just did a great job managing his staff through that first tournament, that first 4 games. And he set himself up really well, except for today. Today is the tough game. If they come out of this game, I'm telling you right now, they can take Japan because who's pitching for Japan? Yamamoto's pitching today. So they won't have Yamamoto. Ohtani's not pitching. The other guys that they have are okay. They're not great. And Italy is hitting the cover off the ball right now. So, I mean, you got to look at that. They are actually set up, if they get past today, really good shot at actually going even farther. But and I think they can get past Japan.
But also they got to beat Japan and then
probably the US again.
US.
The DR. So let's talk
very
about
pissed off US team.
Let's talk about the US and DR. I think US has really underperformed in this tournament.
Oh, for sure.
Right. So we got to talk about yesterday's game first, I would say, right? They it was funny watching.
Look at him. You'll never see Ralph be so jovial as whenever he has an opportunity.
Yeah, because
for international
in the pregame,
specifically
in the pregame, what were the Team Canadian players wearing?
I did not see.
They were wearing Team Canada hockey jerseys.
Oh,
right. this was their chance.
That is asking for it.
So Canada, what happened? I mean, what really happened to you in this game? Yes, we know. Once again, Team Canada fell to a U.S. team. Such a pity. You guys are pathetic. Can you stop playing the U.S.? You just keep losing. I mean, it's getting old. I'm starting to actually feel bad for you. This is the 4th time now in how many months that Canadian teams have lost to a U.S. team. Man,
they gave it all for that Nations tournament.
Yeah, that's
like the last time.
Yeah.
So, rest in peace, Team Canada. You tried. You got farther than anybody thought you would, to be honest with you. So,
yeah.
You did a good job, but the U.S. again, just better than you. So that being said, I had to do that. I'm sorry. Now, you have Team USA playing the Dominican Republic, which I said in the beginning of this tournament, I felt were the 2 best teams in the tournament. I thought Japan was 3rd. Dominican Republic is killing it right now. They look great. They made Korea look horrendous yesterday. They walked them off 10-0.
That was so bad.
Yeah.
To make it to the quarterfinals and then get mercy ruled.
Yeah. That's not heard of.
2 hits.
Yeah.
2 hits in 7 innings.
So that's going to be a tough gig. I mean, I don't know if the U.S. plays the way they've been playing, they'll get beat. They will.
Well, I mean, it doesn't help that they have the manager of broadcasting. I mean, like, it is criminal that we cannot have a current day manager being up there because really, it's a glorified mouthpiece.
Yeah, it is.
Because all the innings, all the at-bat appearances, every single detail that for all these players that are Major League Baseball players, all that stuff is hashed out and negotiated and agreed upon prior to you even stepping onto the diamond. So it's just a math equation at some point. What I expect from you though, Mark DeRosa, what I demand, what I have, and why he will not be here in 3 more years is knowing when you qualify and how you advance in a tournament. You are not in a regular season where you can lollygag your way to a playoff and then learn the rules. It is absurd that Mark DeRosa not only had comments, doubled down, said he misunderstood, then come back and say, but I knew what I was talking about. To go so staunchly in his comments about explicitly not understanding that Team USA was in real danger of not going to the knockout rounds of the World Baseball Classic, a team that is in the top 3 favored teams. Many can predict that they would win. Many think that they will win, what have you. To be eliminated prior to even getting a chance to get to the knockout round would have been criminal. And Mark DeRosa is lucky that he is not deported. Or his crimes against the nation.
Wow. Did you see the interview with Vinny Pasquantino after the game when Italy won? Or they beat Mexico?
The thank you.
You're welcome, America.
You're welcome. That was so funny.
So good.
I mean, it was a joke, obviously, but it was funny.
Yeah. I mean, that dude, I think Vinny went like 0-5 against the U.S.
Yeah.
So
he was 0 for the tournament until Mexico game, where he hit 3 home runs.
You're better than Tarek Skubal.
You know, but if you look at the updated odds, Mr. Value Guy, USA is plus 125. They're still the favorite. Dominicans plus 240. Japan is plus 375. And Italy is plus 2,200.
Which is,
it's a value bet.
They should be. I mean, it is a value bet. I just, again, they've been playing well throughout the tournament. Against the US, literally all of their offense came from like 3 players at the end of the order. And then Mexico, they just completely...
They've been feisty against Mexico for the past couple of WBCs. Like they've been able to upset Mexico, I think last year too. Italy was. So
they beat them the last 2 WBCs.
I was gonna say I knew last year. The last outing. I couldn't remember.
But this was a drubbing. They hadn't done this.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no.
This is a different Italy team. This is a really good team, and we'll see what happens. But you know, when we're talking about value, I mean, speaking of value.
The books have set the lines. The public is chasing favorites. But he's looking for value. It's time for the right angle.
Dun, dun, dun.
You don't add music. I gave you all the music.
Yeah, but I like adding the dun, dun, dun. So we're going a little bit different here.
Okay.
We're going to the world of golf.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow.
Everybody.
We're going to golf.
We're sinking into a different hole.
We're traveling. It is the Players Championship. I'm gonna take a stab in the dark and say neither of you know anything of golf.
I am not a golf man.
I know golf.
Do you?
I play golf.
Do you? Oh, nice.
Do you play it well?
I'm okay.
You're a body. Okay.
I mean, probably the best I've ever shot is, in the 80s, in the mid 80s.
Okay.
83, 84.
Okay. Well, we're going to the Players. We're looking for some nice value. Now, I wanna let the audience know that for the next couple weeks after this, we're gonna have some more traditional value bets. I want to let the people know.
Boy, he's giving you that disclaimer. This may suck, but we're gonna talk good things later.
It's gonna get good real fast.
This is good, but this is one that you're gonna have to wait a couple days. You're gonna have to wait till late tomorrow, hopefully, to see whether or not it pans out.
All right.
The next couple weeks, we got March Madness on the slate, so you're gonna get same day value bets.
Okay.
For this one, I have Justin Thomas to win the Players.
I have heard that name before.
I'm glad that you have, Phil. I'm glad that you have. He's currently plus 1,300 on FanDuel, unless something changed since I last looked 20 minutes ago. He is at 8 under. He's 4 back of the leader. Justin Thomas is a very unique name in golf because he's always hanging around. He normally can get a win or two a year, but he's not somebody who you're necessarily always betting on to win everything. However, he started off with 2 solid rounds on Thursday and Friday. He's within striking distance on move day. And I think what we're really going to see is the people ahead of him are going to kind of either hopefully take a step back or they're going to kind of stand pat. And I really think Justin Thomas, I think he's been playing solid this week. And I think that he's going to do it. I think he's going to break through and I think he's going to win the Players. So at plus 1,300, if you bet 100, you get 1,300 back, 13 to 1 odds. If you prefer that. So,
I'll try it.
Go ahead.
I'm going to try it.
Thank you. Thank you for believing in me.
I'm not sure I believe in you, but I'm going to try it.
You know what? I'll take it. I'll take it. And then I just want the audience to look forward to March Madness bets starting next week.
Looking at you, Retrievers, UMBC to win it all.
That will not be the bet. I can tell you that
So
right
much value.
now.
You're
There
drowning in
will
value.
be value, but not enough.
Okay.
And that has been the right angle. Dun, dun, dun.
I'm going to have him record dun, dun, dun.
Dun,
Put it
dun,
in
He
there.
does his own sound effects.
All right. So we know we're going to get here. So let's just get here. The NFL. We have to always go to the NFL. And, I want to say something. This Max Crosby trade fallout.
Crazy.
We talked I talked pretty bad about this trade last week. I mean,
So did I.
yeah, I mean, we didn't like it. I thought
did not.
I don't think any of us liked it, right?
No. I
No,
thought
you
it was-
liked it?
Yes,
Loved it.
I was
That's right.
the lone person who was like, I think this is a good deal.
What do you guys think about this? I mean, people are like, oh, should the Ravens be allowed to do this? I mean, well, yeah, technically it's not really official yet. You can do anything you want until it's official, but
You know what this is?
no, what is it?
This is that person that you play a board game with, let's say Monopoly, and does a deal with the person who's never played Monopoly. And you're like, I'll give you the brown property for what's this stupid like boardwalk thing? Why don't I do that? It's only like $400. I'll give you like $400 and this brown one to get like the other blue one. You get a Monopoly, I get a Monopoly, all this stuff. And everybody else, if there's rules against them talking, is just biting their lip, just saying, just holding it in. And then finally, once the deal's done, everybody says, what are you doing, you stupido? What are you doing?
Wow.
And then,
International.
yeah, exactly. And then everybody says, you know what? This is just so unfair. This is so against the Constitution. You're allowed to do it. But gosh darn it, we hate that you did it. I think that the Ravens, there's only one way to read this. They just saw the negative outpour, realized that they were the only ones to be offering a 1 and a 1, and said, you know, we're a team that builds from the draft. This is the first time we've traded away a first rounder of any sort for a player. This is the first time we've ever traded away 2. We are not that type of player. We are not that type of organization. We overpaid. And you know what? We have a parachute. Nobody's going to like us using this parachute. And so I think it's a win now, weirdly enough, in an anti-win now move, but it's going to cost them in deals.
I think so.
This is a reputational thing until at least the GM is gone. And depending on what the cover up is if the GM's willing to take all the bullets for it, if he truly was, or if it was an owner decision. I don't know at what point it came across that they're like, wait, we can get essentially the same thing, at least in pass rush, in signing Trey Hendrickson from the Bengals within the division, who we know, who is a stalwart guy. We can get essentially the same thing and not have to give up 2 1s. And also, we've already lost our center, who was the best free agent across the board for everybody. We already lost him. You know what? We'll do it. We'll just say, you know what? Oh, he's got a bad knee that he already had. He's just not able to run right now because he just had off-season surgery to fix that knee that we already knew that he had. So it's abominable. Like you want to talk about ethics, sports ethics. It's abominable ethically.
Yeah.
It's there. They did it. It's going to cost them in the long run. But for right now, it's just validation for you and me, Ralph, where, it was not a good move.
Did you see what they said afterwards? Oh, we were trying to get Hendrickson and him anyway. we were going to try to get both. They said that after they picked up him.
Oh, sure.
I was like, you're so full of it.
I
There's no
believe
way.
that, actually.
Oh, get out of
They
here.
could afford that.
They could afford
You
it.
think so?
Yeah.
It's a lot of money.
That would have been, I mean, that's why they let Linderbaum go. Like, I think they could have afforded that. I think that would have been it. I think they would have done that, and then we wouldn't have heard from them until the week 1, basically.
Yeah, I've got a payday title on it with your name on it, if they believe that.
But I mean, they absolutely could have made that work from a financial standpoint. It's just that would have been it. That would have been their whole offseason. It's just those 2 moves. I think inherently what Philip is trying to say might be the thought process. I think the analogy went a little off the rails.
Nobody wants the Brown monopoly.
Yeah, sure, Grandpa. But I do.
Nobody even knows what Baltic Avenue is.
You good?
I'm good.
Okay. But I do think at the end of the day, like you said, this is a huge hit on your reputation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everybody knew he was hurt. Everybody knew he just had surgery. Everybody knew he would fail a physical. And for those of you who are unfamiliar, players fail physicals and trades often, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because in a situation like this, it is known. You are going in with the expectation that they are going to fail the physical. You do it because you have to, and you want to see if there's a different issue that you might find. But for them to do this is just such a huge hit PR-wise is kind of crazy. And also, I need to see more than just Trey Hendrickson. They lost Linderbaum. I don't think they've made any other big moves, right? This is it.
Well, they acquired the number 14th overall pick in the draft, whatever that turns out to be.
Yeah. So, I mean, it just overall, you backed out of this deal. Everyone thinks you look terrible now. And first of all, they knew they were the only ones offering 2 firsts. That's why they offered the second first. If a first and a second would have gotten it done, then they wouldn't have offered the second first. So they already knew kind of that part of it. And maybe they were just buyer's remorse. And they're like, well, we have this ripcord we can pull to save ourselves. But overall, to me, that is the biggest thing is you not only took that huge hit where it's going to make other teams hesitant to try to do any deals with you, but on top of that, the only deal that you did do was for a player that overall is probably worse by just a little bit. I know pass rushing, he is better, but you're taking a significant hit when it comes to rush defense. Yes. So, I mean, like, I'm not liking what the Ravens are doing here. Their offense, I think, is going to be worse, and their defense isn't going to be that much better.
You know, it's funny. This was a very emotional topic online this week.
Yeah.
So we had a clip that went pretty good, and there was a lot of comments, and the majority of the comments were from people that just like, this is a stupid trade for the Ravens. But then all the Raven diehards came out, and they would just curse in the storm left and right, saying, we're stupid. You don't know what you're talking about. This is a great move, blah, blah, blah. Now they all got quiet after they all got rescinded. But I mean, it was very emotional for Ravens fans. They were really excited about getting Crosby.
There were people, Ralph, who got back tattoos of Max Crosby.
Really?
Back tattoo.
That was stupid.
That is incredibly stupid. Do you agree with Luke here, Ralph, that there will be now going forward a Ravens tax if you were to do a trade to say, Ravens. Hey, if I now have to build into my trades and build into my reputation with that player to say that it on the off chance that it gets rescinded, and I'm not going to do that. Unless it's for, instead of a fourth, a third now.
I mean, the Ravens have a reputation now, right? It's kind of like when you wake up in the morning and you just had a night out and you look next to you and there's this girl and she's got your mom's wedding ring on and you're like, oh my gosh, what happened? I don't even remember this.
It feels like
and
a personal story.
You pull the ring off and you kick her out. This is kind of what the Ravens are now, right? So, I mean, yeah, they're going to have this stigma attached to them and people are going to be very cautious. I mean, the Raiders were pissed.
Can I just say,
rightly so?
I mean, I think they were pissed, and then I think they said, "Well, we took your center." So
there was this,
even though we paid way too much for him, but
yeah, there was so much subtext in that PR statement that they released. First of all, say it because it was very curt. Is how I would put it. Very small. Just we have heard and been alerted and notified that Max Crosby is not going to be traded in the end, and that is there will be no further comment at this time.
Yep, it was quick and to the point.
It was just all that there was.
And to the Raiders' credit, as weird as this might sound, they have done all of this the right way. They did they got the most value for trading him. I don't think that reputation was so that relationship was so far destroyed to where Crosby isn't unhappy to return to the Raiders. Like, I think Crosby's more than happy to keep playing for the Raiders.
Even in his statement when he was a Raven, he was saying, I love the Raiders. One day I will be back here. I bled for that team. I love that team. I am a heart and soul into that organization. I'm just going to win a championship.
So what if they trade him again?
Well, that's why the Raiders have not said anything more. Like,
they said they're not going to trade him, is what they've said.
Did they?
Yes. They came out and said that he's not going anywhere.
Oh, okay.
I don't believe that.
I think he's probably safe for now, just because I think you already had so many other moves planned, and now that it's all come apart, you've had to like figure everything out, and maybe the things that they wanted to do are now no longer available, so they're just going to hold them until the trade deadline and see where they're at then. But I don't think he'll probably get traded yet, but I wouldn't be shocked if he was.
Well, now you're going to have snipers coming in at you for everything.
They already have.
Yeah. We'll give you a 4th and a 2 now. Like, obviously you need to trade him. No, we're going to be fine. The best option that they'll have now is probably trade deadline, where you're hoping that maybe not a Kansas City Chiefs, but maybe like the Eagles. They're notorious for this, where they will trade for a player just to put them over the edge for the playoff push, for the Super Bowl push.
And I think that's exactly my point, is like the relationship is still solid enough to where he's going to be more than happy to come back and keep playing. Sure. And he's not going to be offended if they do trade him at the deadline or something like that.
But with all the moves they've made, and kudos to the Raiders are having a good offseason.
Well, now hold on.
Well, we'll go to that in a second, but I think they're having a really good offseason. But with all the moves they're making, I think they were counting on that salary to be gone.
Oh, certainly.
Right. So now it kind of limits them in the things they probably want to continue to do. So I think that's why I think they're still going to move him. They've got to move him.
I don't think they need to anymore, though.
They just paid $80 million for a center,
which they needed.
But $80 million.
I think that's fine.
That's insane.
For a 25-year-old center who's probably the best, if not second best center in the league.
$80 million for a center?
That's the going rate for a good offensive lineman.
Let me tell you, Geno Smith will say every penny of that is worth it, even though, he's now somewhere else. Last thing that I have, I'm so glad it happened to the Raiders. God, I don't think that there's a team I just despise more than the Raiders.
Because you're a Bronco
they are
fan.
just so easy to hate. They are so petulant, and they are such a bunch of crybabies. My God.
So let's talk about that. Right now, the Raiders are definitely one of the top 3 winners of the free agency. I mean, they have done a great job. They are showing me that they are about change and moving in the right direction. I really see that now. You can see it with the new GM, the moves they're making. You can see it with the new head coach and the move they're making. They are doing that. They're addressing issues, right? What was the first thing they needed to do? They needed to get a center. They needed to get somebody in the center of that offensive line that can anchor a young line and protect the guy that they're going to draft number 1 in a few weeks. That made a lot of sense, right? And they did that. They've beefed up their offense, their defense as well. They've added key pieces. I think they're making really good moves. They've been very impressive. I know you're a Bronco fan, so of course you're going to hate the Raiders, but I think you're in trouble down the road because I think this team is doing it the right way for the first time in years. I've seen them actually making moves. I'm like, hey, that makes sense. That's good. These guys actually may be doing it right this time.
I think they're, as a fellow Broncos fan.
Of course, I forgot. Yeah. You're sick too. Go ahead.
Well, I think that they are making good moves. I just don't think they're making good enough moves. They are starting they're starting in the right direction. They addressed probably their worst offensive group in the O-line.
Yep.
And they got Linderbaum. They got Jalen Naylor for $10+ million a year, which I think that was a bad decision. I don't think Jalen Naylor is worth that kind of money.
They got Nakobe Dean.
They got Kwity Paye, and they got Quay Walker on the defense. And I think that's going to help, especially adding
it's an upgrade.
Huh?
It's an upgrade.
It's pure upgrades. And
also, they re-signed Eric Stokes, a cornerback from their own team. If you were on the defense last year, there's no part of that defense I wanted to re-sign. They got 3 years, $30 million. My goodness.
So, and I think the problem with last year's defense was they didn't have enough pieces up front for it to matter who was behind. They didn't.
I can think of one piece that they just tried to trade away to the Ravens that possibly could have been enough.
He was hurt.
And he was playing hurt like all year.
Yeah, I mean, he was hurt.
And he was literally by himself. It was just him.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this, but if you only have to worry about one player, you can then block that one player with multiple guys.
Myles Garrett would say, watch me speed around.
Well, he did. He still had 10 sacks last year.
Yeah.
While playing hurt.
Yeah, which is crazy.
And he was literally the only piece they had. And now you add in Quay Walker. Now you add in Nakobe Dean. Now you add in Quiddy Pay.
Quiddy Pay is the edge rusher.
You're adding him in. You're adding pieces that are helping the front so that you don't need to worry as much about your back.
Look,
because I don't think the back was the problem.
Raiders are cute. You know, they're doing cute little things. They're spending money. You know, at TJ Maxx saying, look at this nice new fur coat I got. Yeah, it's probably all synthetic, whatever. At the end of the day, none of it's going to matter unless that new American Express card that comes in and is all black is Fernando Mendoza.
It will be.
If he actually works out.
I think
that's where it's all going to matter. That's what it all hinges on.
And here's,
if we're all being honest.
Here's where I'm worried about is because they had a lot of cap space and they've, to their credit, been using a lot of the cap space.
Mm-hmm.
But my issue is once you start seeing deals like $35 million to Jalen Naylor, now it feels like we're overspending just to get guys in. And if we're going to do that, let's do that for better guys.
But let's be fair. If you look at some of these numbers being thrown around in the NFL this year, just in the free agency, some of these guys are getting ridiculous money that th're not worth.
100%.
Ridiculous.
But if I'm going to
got a few nominees.
Yeah.
But if I'm going to do that, I'm going to do it for some, again, maybe I'm just hating on Jalen Naylor too much.
Yeah, I was going to say, where I will go with you is that they are not the team that is errantly spending the worst amount of money. Like that belongs to one team that if we want to move off the Raiders, I'm willing to go to. Are we all good about
I think we're good about the Raiders.
Yeah.
I think we're fine.
What in the good glory hell are the Colts doing? I have not seen this irresponsible spending this side of like the Washington team that of a previous name on this side of the Tennessee Titans giving Hainsworth his deal. What is this? First of all, the big one's going to be Daniel Jones, right? Getting essentially a contract incentivized 2-year, $100 million contract coming off of an injury plagued year. It goes up to $100 million.
I thought it went to 110.
It's 80. I thought it was only 100.
I'm not sure if the look.
Regardless, it's 2 years, 88 guaranteed, and then 2 years, 100 million with incentives.
Way overpaid.
Absurdly overpaid.
That was an absurd. Yeah, I agree with that. That was absurd.
It was.
That was there a more flawed team that got off to, I believe, what was he on games completed like 8-1 and then 8-2 on the game that he got? Because when you saw the Chiefs, who were not all that good to begin with, dismantle that team at the time, you just saw a bunch of their flaws. Even when they beat the Broncos last year, that was the fluke. You look at how they got to that 8-0 start. It was so incredibly fluky. And to go and pay Daniel Jones, coming fresh off of his injury, that amount of money is absurd.
What was their alternative? Because Daniel Jones said, I want this or I'm gone.
Let him go.
What's the alternative?
Let him go. I would much rather take Kyler Murray on a 1-year veterans minimum. I would take Marcus Mariota. He's at the bottom of here. I would take Marcus Mariota. He signed for a 1-year, $7 million deal. I'll take him over Daniel Jones. There's so many players that I thought, but to sink yourself into that amount, and then I'll go here, but you guys can sink into Daniel Jones if you want. Alec Pierce?
That's the one I want to sink in when you're done.
You go ahead.
Okay. This is absolutely insane to trade away your number one wide receiver, Michael Pittman.
I'm not sure I don't like Michael Pittman more than him.
I do like Michael Pittman more than him. And you give a guy who's literally only he's played there 4 years. He had like 500 yards, 800 yards, and just barely broke 1,000 yards this past year. This guy is not ready to be given this big of a contract. Like, this is insane. All he is a
wide receiver
threat
ever.
Like, we do not need to give him over. I think it's close to $30 million a year.
Yeah.
And all he is just a guy who can run down the field super fast. Can he run some routes on the short end? Sure, he can, but I'm not going to be willing to bet everything on him. He also has like consistently dealt with kind of minor nagging injuries that always tend to keep him out of a few games a year. And that's not who you give the money to. I think it's insane to drop $88 million on a guy who you don't even know how he's going to be. This is, it was an Achilles, right? For Daniel Jones?
Yeah, which is
you
bad.
don't know how he's going to be when he comes back. And then on top of that, you're like, okay, well, even though we don't know how healthy our quarterback will be, let's give another 100 and almost 20 million to a wide receiver who is worse than the guy we're trading away. It was just, it's pure insanity and incompetence that these are the first two deals you make of the offseason.
That deal makes sense for a JSN. And Ralph can say all he wants that he wants to see another year. Fine. Go ahead and do that. That's totally fine. But again, going to JSN is licking his chops because there is no world where Alec Pierce makes that type of money. And I'm JSN and I'm saying that's where we start. We are not going a penny under what Alec Pierce just made because he has made in a highly inflated NFL ecosystem where getting a Pro Bowl is akin to a patch. He's only even made one Pro Bowl. What are you? He's not a physical specimen. Like he's not, obviously he's not Calvin Johnson, but even like Jamar Chase is much more the physical specimen than Alec Pierce. He's equivalent to going back to your Seahawks, Rashid Shaheed, in that he just feels like a glorified burner who can kind of catch a little bit.
You know, are you taking a dig at that?
No,
you're agreeing.
No, I'm agreeing. Rashid Shaheed is fantastic at the price you got him for, and that you traded for, and that you re-signed. No, absolutely.
His contract's what Alex Pierce should have gotten.
Yes, Rashid Shaheed signs for that amount. You are outraged right now. You are outraged, and so
he wouldn't have signed for that amount. They wouldn't have given it to him.
They wouldn't have given it to him.
This is why I love Seattle and I love John Schneider, because he's not playing into all this BS like the Colts and everybody else. He ain't doing that. He's letting guys go.
Buffoonery.
Yeah, I mean, you have to let guys go. You can't spend that kind of money on every player. It just doesn't work, right? Kenneth Walker, I mean, so he went to the Chiefs. They way overpaid for him, in my opinion. I wouldn't have given Kenneth Walker. He got that kind of money because he had 4 good games at the end of the year.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. We were talking about they've never seen a Super Bowl MVP go that same year.
I mean, even during the parade, you
knew he was gone.
John Schneider was like, I've not seen that level of just openly poking a guy that you knew you were not going to re-sign. I mean, I don't know if they got the right of first refusal and they enacted on that and we're just like, yeah, we're still good. But him to be at the parade and saying, and look, there's Kenneth Walker. He just tried negotiating with me. But Super Bowl MVP. Crazy.
Yeah, crazy. I mean, there was no way he was going to get that kind of money from Seattle. Seattle had one guy they had to sign, and that was Rashid Shaheed. They had to sign that guy because he's so impactful, not only on special teams, but on the offense as well. I mean, so he's a dual threat. He makes a difference, and he's not someone you can replace really easy because not everybody has that speed and that instinct that he has, right? That's a great signing. I love that signing. You let a guy like Walker go because you can replace Walker. I mean, love you, Walker, but good luck with the Chiefs. You can be just as hurt as Mahomes is all the time. He'll probably play, 10 games this year. He'll miss games. That's what he does. So I like what Seattle's doing. I'm happy about what Seattle's doing. I want to talk about, if we can real quick, I'd like to talk about Kyler Murray.
Yeah, let's do it.
So,
just a short little topic.
Just a short topic. And not just Kyler Murray, but I want to tie in JJ McCarthy.
Oh,
real quick. So Colin Cowherd, I've got this. I'm going to play this clip real quick. Colin Cowherd was talking about this exact situation, and this is really interesting, and I'm a big believer of where he went with this.
Kyler Murray has signed a 1-year deal. What does it mean for J.J. McCarthy? I think we all know. And I'm not saying it's easy to figure out first-round, second-round quarterbacks, but J.J. McCarthy is a cautionary tale for every general manager in the NFL. Beware the game manager at the college level, and beware of when the number one trait for a college quarterback is he's a winner. That's what they said about Tebow. That doesn't mean anything. He came from the best Michigan team probably ever. 13 guys were drafted, stacked roster, and he only threw for 22 touchdowns. Joe Burrow played on a stacked roster at LSU. He threw for 60. Every quarterback in J.J. McCarthy's class, every one, they had to throw for over 300 yards a game. J.J. McCarthy threw for under 200 yards a game. It just doesn't translate to Sunday football.
We talked about this when he got drafted. Remember? We called him Captain Handoff, or I did anyway. Because he didn't have to, he wasn't the guy that had to win the game. It was that team around him was so good. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Matt Leinart, right? That team around him was so good that he never had to prove it by being the guy, by throwing the touchdown passes and doing all that stuff. And it hasn't translated. And you've seen it. The Vikings obviously giving up on him, I would say pretty hard. I know they're trying to make it. Kyler right now, they're paying what, 1.3 million for him this year? The
1.6.
Yeah,
the Cardinals are paying his salary this year.
Yeah, it's offsetting.
I mean, so if Kyler comes in, and I don't hate Kyler, I know I give him crud because he's 3'2" or whatever he is, and he was fun to poke at, and when he was time with the Arizona fans here. But honestly, I'm pulling for the guy. I really actually hope he has a good season. I hope he even takes the Vikings to the playoffs. I think he has the key pieces around him to be very successful. And now we're going to see what Kyler's made of. And boy, if he does have success there year one, how are you feeling about that, Cardinal fan? That's got to make you really step back and go, man, what are we doing wrong?
It is, first of all, JJ McCartney, I was in the same boat as you. Like there was no world he was a round one quarterback. I think almost
Never got it.
I truly was shocked because I think almost everybody unanimously was like, no, this guy's not at the same level as everyone else. And he just, for whatever reason, just kept climbing. And then you were able to scam the GM of the Vikings to draft you, and now he's gone. He literally got someone fired because of how bad he is. I think that Murray is going to have a kind of a Sam Darnold-esque season here.
Resurgence.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the key, and I think that's why a lot of Cardinals fans, myself included, we gave him, I shouldn't say we, the Cardinals gave him that second contract, that huge contract, because Cardinals and their fans were like, it is more, I would rather sign you and give you the money and be wrong than let you leave and be good somewhere else and have to watch that. And I was fully on board with that. I was like, take the chance. He's had enough excuses to at least warrant giving him this second big contract. But after this, that's it. And now I'm very curious.
Are you going to feel worse?
I personally won't.
So you're paying his salary this year, not you, but the Cardinals. Yeah. And let's say he has a great year and wins. Is that going to piss you off?
It's not for me now.
Not anymore?
He had, at this point, the divorce had to happen. He needed a change of scenery. The Cardinals don't deserve anything good.
Wow.
Right now. They don't. They really don't.
They can't handle prosperity, therefore they don't deserve it.
Basically, I mean, Michael Bidwell, yet again, just every offseason proves why he's incompetent and why he shouldn't be running this team.
I agree with that.
Why are we firing? Why are we, yet again, I think this is the fourth time now, or third or fourth time now, where we fire the head coach or the GM, but keep the other. And so again, we're getting our cycles mixed up. There was no reason not to fire Monty. He was bad at his job.
He still is.
He was bad at his job in Tennessee. I don't know why he even got the job in Arizona to begin with, other than probably he was the only one who would take it. And then he's proven that he's not good at it in Arizona. You should have fired both of them at the same time. I'm glad that Murray is now going to have an opportunity to go and prove that he can be a competent NFL quarterback somewhere else. I don't think he'll ever be a consistent top 5 or top 10 quarterback. I do think he can consistently be in that middle tier. And I think he can have weeks where he will be the best quarterback of the week. I think he will have that. I think he has that potential. I think having probably one of the best offensive rosters he's had in a long time
certainly
is going to help him. I think having Justin Jefferson is going to be huge.
Not having, like, because look at what the results were when he actually had good players around him. Like he had Trey McBride here last year, but obviously he's never vibed with whatever his tight end is. I mean, I suppose he started the Trey McBride production cycle, but then just never seemed to go back.
You could never get to the. He could never complete the touchdown with him.
Exactly. But the last time prior to this last iteration of Marvin Harrison Jr. and Trey McBride, the last time you saw the offense work at all was when he had a true bona fide wide receiver who was on nearing, we didn't know it at the time, but nearing the end of his prime in DeAndre Hopkins. You have Justin Jefferson, somebody who fits a lot of the same requirements and mold that DeAndre Hopkins at the time fit. And they made beautiful offensive music together. Like they were able to put up points. He was able to fulfill his potential and promise that he had showed enough to warrant him being a number one overall pick, a consensus number one overall pick as a quarterback. He certainly has the talent. I would say he has the talent. He does not have the stature, but he has the talent of a top 5 quarterback. He has elite traits. I will be pushing for him. I have in all honesty, I have a MVP ticket for Kyler Murray. It's more so of a value bet.
That's a value.
Now
that should have been on the right angle. What odds? Roughly,
I think it was like, I don't know. I will look it up on the next topic. But yeah. So
I'm pulling for him.
I can see it. I'm
pulling for the little guy.
If we're all being honest, if we are looking at a divorce and saying, was it mommy or daddy's fault? I am going to say that the ineptitude of the Arizona Cardinals, I know that stinks. In every other stop outside of the Cardinals, Kyler Murray has found success. So I'm willing to give him a little bit of a chance.
If Kyler Murray takes the Vikings to the Super Bowl this year, I'm telling you, then the ownership of the Cardinals needs to sell. That should be like a stipulation. You need to sell because you guys suck that bad that this guy leaves and takes another team to the
instead
Super
of
Bowl.
relegation. It's you're so bad we are forcing you to sell. You're not even going down to a lower level. That's incredible.
What really truly hurts is he doesn't even need to sell. He just needs to realize that the club will be more profitable with someone else running it. Stay the owner. Stay signing the checks and getting the good publicity because that's all you want.
He needs to Paul Allen it.
But you need somebody competent as your president who's actually running them.
Paul Allen's dead and he does a better job than him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's reality.
That's how low of a bar. The bar is literally 6 feet under.
It is. It's 6. So Adam Hurley on YouTube on chat says, you guys talk NBA too? We do. We just finished talking, about a good 30 minutes of NBA.
Kyler Murray at the time that I got it.
So we definitely do.
Regular season MVP plus 6,500.
That's value.
Hey, Adam, you can go back on the replay and you can hear our NBA talk, but we definitely talk NBA.
I do want to, if we're done with Kyler Murray.
I think we are. I just wanted to make that point, and I wanted to make the JJ McCarthy point because I think we've all been right about that. So
100%.
And you know what's crazy? They had Sam Darnold in the building, and at that time, yes, you would not have gotten a first round pick again, and you traded up for JJ McCarthy. I'm not so sure that they wouldn't have been able to at least get a third. They could have possibly gotten a second from somebody else because JJ McCarthy, they had to trade up in order to get him. Other people were wanting him. There's a chance now. Forget it. Yeah, maybe a 5th rounder, maybe.
Backup, maybe.
And even then, it'd have to be a late 5th rounder. Like I'm the Chiefs, and I'm like, you know what? We'll take a shot on a former 1st rounder. Yep. That's about it.
Go ahead.
I just want to. We're quickly approaching the end of our time here. It's been a great weekend. It's been a great day. It's only Saturday morning. It's been a great weekend.
It's been a great weekend.
I woke up feeling great, and I think I'm gonna feel great this entire weekend. This is gonna be one of the best weekends of the year. I can feel it.
He's projected. I am hungry too, actually.
And I want to just. We still have some free agents. Like we're not done with free agency.
No.
So here's what I want to do. I'm going to go through some of the top remaining agents here.
Okay.
And just quick fire, I want you guys to give me who you think would be a good fit to sign these players.
Okay.
I know that this is off the top of your guys' heads, so please don't worry too much about cap space and stuff like that. Just who you think should do their best to sign these players.
It's the
okay?
NFL. If they want cap space,
they'll find it.
Yeah.
Just ask the Saints.
Okay.
They'll give you advice.
No kidding.
Okay, so we're gonna start off number 1, and these rankings are actually from ESPN. This is how they are ranking the top remaining free agents.
Okay.
We have Jawan Jennings, wide receiver. Age entering 2026 season, 29. I'll go Philip first. Who do you think should go for the 6'3", 213-pound wide receiver?
I'll give you one where he could go, and then where I think he possibly could in a few moves here. I'll go with New England Patriots. Whenever you talk about wide receiver, they're always the first team that comes to mind. And then the one where if an AJ Brown deal happens, I would love him to go to the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay.
Of course, that is highly dependent on AJ Brown.
I was going to say Raiders. I think they can use some guys on the wide receiver room.
That's good. That's good.
I think that's actually a very good pickup as well. Number 2, offensive tackle, Taylor Decker.
Ralph first or me?
Let's go Ralph first.
I'm going to go right back to the Raiders. I think the Raiders still need to beef that lineup. So if they can afford it, I would go right there.
Okay. And then Philip?
Cincinnati Bengals.
Really? Okay. I like that one as well.
You don't like the guy or what?
No, I mean,
he hates him.
That's so funny. If there's a team that needs to just make him feel better, it's the guy who's the Bengals who have a guy who's dating Jessica Alba.
True. God. Now this one's interesting. I'm going to let you guys say no team for this one.
Okay.
Number 3, wide receiver, Stephon Diggs.
It is tempting to say no team. You know who I think could take a shot and be, because they've already done this before?
Who?
Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh, that's interesting.
The Bucks. Okay.
They have an organization who's dealt with problematic wide receivers in the past. Not Mike Evans, just in case there's any confusion.
Didn't go great there, but
well, it didn't end great. Started out great.
True.
With Antonio Brown, in case you're wondering. So that's where I'd go. It has to be an organization I trust to work that through. That's about it, honestly.
How about the Cardinals?
They
don't really. I mean, look at their wide receiver core. What do they have?
They have Michael Wilson,
Who's
Marvin
unproven.
Harrison Jr.
Jacoby Brissett doesn't strike me.
Kendrick Bourne.
Again, so why not the Cardinals?
Yeah, they just signed Kendrick Bourne.
They cannot handle that personality and those bad headlines right now.
Wait, real quick before you go to the next one, Adam Hurley's on here, says, I'm a Cardinal fan. They should have kept Murray to be a backup. They haven't had a good backup in decades. I don't think you could keep a guy making that kind of money to be a backup. But
I just don't think it would have worked out well in practice.
It's one of those, if you're dealing with a robot who has no emotional context for it, I think it could work, but not in
Adam, I would say real quick, how pissed off are you if the Vikings have a great year with Kyler Murray? Just curious. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I got 2 more while he responds to us. Deebo Samuel. We'll start with Ralph this time.
Deebo Samuel.
Yeah.
Kind of like him.
It depends on the deal. If we're talking like 4 years, I don't like the deal for really
Everyone's
anybody.
been signing mostly 3-year deals this year, which apparently that's what the union's been pushing. So we'll assume a 3-year deal just because that has been the average.
You know, right away, my first thought was Tampa to kind of replace Evans. That was my first thought.
Actually, we never talked about that, by the way. I am shocked that Mike Evans went to San Francisco. Absolutely floored. I also can't deny him because, I mean, to get 3 years, $60 million at that age and with that injury history, crazy.
That is crazy.
But I would have, he was one of those players, those rare players that I would have said probably going to be forever a buck. But
I thought the same thing. Yeah.
I think I'm going to stick with the Buccaneers. I think that would be a good move for him if they can do that. And Adam says, I want them to. I'm a Vikings fan also. Well, that makes sense. If you're a Vikings fan, so you get to keep Kyler.
Yeah, there you go.
Where I think he should go, or where I think he inevitably will go, weirdly enough, would be like the Denver Broncos. I do think that he could go there and be just possession receiver. Where I think where he should go would be like the Carolina Panthers.
Oh,
Carolina Panthers have Tetro McMillan, who is just kind of prototypical in all size, speed, and everything else. But they don't they could use some gadgetry, and they've got a clever guy down there in Canales as a head coach. I think he could utilize the remainder of potential and ability that Deebo has.
Okay, we got one last one here. David Njoku.
Tight end. Who needs tight end? You know what? That's one where I could go, and it's so unfair because you're going from the Browns, and I'm going to be sticking you to a team that just doesn't know how to handle prosperity yet again. But I am going to go with the New York Jets. If there's a team that just needs any form of everything and could use tight end and a bona fide tight end, and perhaps actually utilize a new piece to the best of their ability because they'll just keep spamming that the entire game, it would be the Jets. You know, I mean, I could have fun with like the Rams, you know, but they're kind of already full, but they don't need them. But yeah.
And then Ralph,
what about the Commanders?
I don't know if Ertz is going to leave.
He got injured. He's done. He's pretty done. I mean,
Yeah.
they could use. I mean,
that's not bad, Ralph.
I think
That is a good one.
Yeah, I think he needs a good tight end to work with. I think that'd be a really good move for him and for them.
We shared that.
Yeah,
we share that desire.
Sports Girl is on the chat.
Speaking of tight ends,
oh my goodness, Ralph, do you actually think the Vikings are good this year with Kyler Murray, or is this a segment of bets not to make? No, I'm not saying I think they're good. I think that it's a definite improvement from JJ McCarthy. I just don't believe in JJ McCarthy, and I think I'm curious to watch how it plays out because, I haven't been the biggest Kyler fan, but I'd be curious to see how it's going to play out. I think they have the potential, as Phil said, to be pretty good with him, but we'll see. I'm pulling for him.
I'd say that the Vikings are amongst the most polarizing teams where I could see them fail and be the Hindenburg and just fall down and go up in a ball of smoke. But I could also see them being a number 1 seed. They have a wide range of outcomes.
It's going to be interesting.
Defense will carry him either way.
Yeah. All right, everybody. So that's our show. We appreciate you spending a little bit of your weekend with us. A lot we went over. Next week, it'll be a lot of college basketball. We'll have some NBA, always a little bit of NFL, and we'll definitely be hitting on MLB as we're getting ready to start that season. And we'll see who won the WBC. Who wins WBC?
Going Japan.
I'm going with the right angle, Venezuela.
I'm going Italy. Go Team Italy. We'll see. That's just more of a want. But anyway, hey, again, thanks for joining us. We'll be back. Same bat channel, same bat time, same bat everything next week. It's the Weekend Warriors.
Support your local stripper.